and know where those weaknesses are. Okay. Now this is our base alignment for our punt return versus a tight punt, the old spread punt. 1 and 10 are our corners. You obviously got the returner on the back end. We show an odd look. We go 2, 3, and 4 aligned in the B, C, and D gaps. 5 nose on the center. 6, 7, and 8 aligned in B, C, and D on the right-hand side. Then 9 shows a stack. And what we're able to do, as you look at it, you see the mirror positions: 1 and 10, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, which we talked about early on, so that you have a chance to cross-train. And then what we're able to do by showing the odds is by adding one, for instance, in our blue, which we'll go over next, all you have to do is tilt the 5 to the left-hand side, skim. Our blue is our block left, return right, and now you're into a 4-man side. And if they guess wrong in terms of how they set protection, you may have a chance to even overload, although you're only bringing 4. So that's kind of the idea behind the odd look. Is we can do a number of different things out of it. And again, we're putting a little bit of pressure on the punt team to decide, okay, well, if they're a split protection team, are they going to do zone side and a man side? They're going to zone to a higher count. They're going to man away from the larger numbers. So now we hope we can get them into a little bit of a guessing game. So that's kind of the method or the method to the madness in terms of why we're an odd look. But this is our base kind of scheme. We have what we call a rush side, again, block left, and then we have a pin side, and that's how we describe them. So if I'm on the right side, I hear blue, I know I'm to the pin side. If I hear blue and I'm on the left side, I know I'm the rush side. And then simply they're going to take their gaps. If they're able to take the ball to the punter's foot, they'll certainly do so. If not, then they're going to work to form a wall return down the right-hand side. Block left, return right. Now, we execute the pin side to as best we can, try to keep the number of hats that could possibly get to our wall decreased by what ends up being a 3 count. So if we're able to do a good job with 1 and 10, the corners on the gunners, and then we can eliminate 3 more would-be tacklers with 6, 7, and 8 and walling them to the inside, in essence keeping them out of the wall, and we're able to do a good job in setting the wall with 9 getting the first opposite color down, and then 5, 4, 3, and 2 each in order, forming a 5-by-5 wall in a stair-step manner down the right-hand side. We think we got a chance to take the ball at the right-hand side if we don't get a block. Now, this is not an overload return, or pardon me, an overload rush. What we're saying is we have an opportunity to block a punt. So it's not, okay, well, this is a return as opposed to the next time where we may rush. We have an opportunity to get a hand on the football. If 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 is either able to beat the man which is trying to block them, or if the punt team is naive to our rush and does a poor job in terms of setting their protection, and we got a chance to get a hand on the football. If not, we're not selling out to the point where we can't manage to attempt to try to get a first down for our offense. So just going into more detail, 1 and 10 are man-to-man on the gunners, attempting to wall them to the outside. Number 2, as you see it, he's on the left-hand side. He's contained rush, 5-by-5 off of number 3 again. So we're trying to execute that stair step. Now, the big thing as I go through this is understand fake responsibilities. Number 2 is an outside edge rusher. If the personal protector, say, for instance, he got option at him, okay, or the PP will release his way, he would be, in essence, a peel rusher, and he would take the PP, okay? Continuing with our optional responsibilities, number 9, okay, so you jump down to number 9, he's going to block first opposite color as he approaches the returner, but his initial responsibility is he is responsible for the rush side wing, so the wing to the left-hand side he is responsible for. Number 8 to the right-hand side, he's going to do the pin and wall the wing inside, but versus fake, he has him man-to-man because obviously he is eligible. So obviously 1 and 10 are taken care of by the corner. So just from a pass standpoint, we're saying, okay, we have both wings, both gunners, as well as the PP taken care of. Now, if they ran option to the left-hand side, we're going to get the ball dealt. So they snap the ball to the PP. With the punter in pitch phase, we're going to say number 2 is going to tackle the quarterback in essence, which is the PP, and get that thing dealt to the punter, and 9 is responsible for scraping over top and take pitch to both sides if option were to show. And we're chasing ghosts, but again, we don't want to be naive to the fact that there's certain fakes that they could do quite easily, and so we want to have an answer from those. If they ran option to the right-hand side, again, snap to the PP. The punter's the pitch phase. Assuming a veer scheme, number 8 would tackle the PP fitting off the ass of his man, who's the wing, and then 9 would scrape over top and give us a chance to rally to the punter. So we want to get that ball dealt. But these are our base rules, and if anybody wants to email me, it's agrinch@uwyl. I can get you this PowerPoint so you guys have all these rules so you don't have to jot them all down right now. But as our block left and return right, our blue return. So you see the rush side, the pin side, and we discussed some of the fake responsibilities. Okay, so final picture of it, rush side, pin side. Now the big thing in any of the punt return, whether it was a man return, which 6, 7, and 8 are executing, or a wall return, which 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are involved in, as well as number 9, it doesn't have to be a kill shot. We don't have to knock out a guy that is attempting to rush to tackle the returner. All we simply have to do is screen them. So as we talk about, if 6, 7, 8 were in a trail position on their respective guard, tackle, and wing, as long as I'm in his hip, and when he attempts to work his way to the returner, as long as I put my body in a position between him and the returner, we got an opportunity for a return. So it's not designed. It doesn't have to be a kill shot, which I think is important to comment to your guys on. Next, you got our red return, okay, which is a block right, return left, and now you see the carryover between positions. Now 5 is always going to skim the center to the side of the rush. 6, 7, 8 now replace 2, 3, and 4 on the rush, and then you got the pin side with 2, 3, and 4 instead of 6, 7, and 8. We mentioned the mirrored position, so simply stated, if you know 2, you know 8. All you got to know is, okay, am I to the pin side or am I to the rush side, which obviously changes between blue and then red. 9 still popping out pre-snap. And the nice thing with 9 in the stack is he can show an overload away from the side, he can show numbers away from the side of the rush. So 9 can basically, depending on the team, we can give him almost free reign to move around pre-snap, again, trying to mess with their count, and can, show an overload to the right-hand side, end up popping out, end up bringing 4, and can, possibly get the eyes of a guard or something like that, and then turns number 6 loose. Or he could show numbers to the left-hand side, try to get protection slid that way, and then 5 skims the center, and we got numbers. So 9 allows us a little flexibility in terms of where we show and how we show numbers. But again, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 are mirrored, so if you know one, you know both. Blue, block left, return right. Red, block right, return left. So there's your picture. Similar responsibilities from a fake standpoint. 8 is a contained rusher of the PP flared. He would peel. 9 has the rush side wing, so now it becomes the right side wing as opposed to the left. He would take pitch to either side. Number 2 is responsible for the wing to his side. Option at him. He would get that ball dealt. Okay, so there's red. Again, more specific in the way of rules, and again, I have no problem emailing this to you, so you don't have to jot all this down. But you see the stair-step manner in the way that we set that return, so it should be constant stagger. 5 by 5 is how we describe it. And the big thing is oftentimes 5 by 5 is much wider of a gap than our guys realize. They want to get right on top of each other, but we need a little bit of distance. If you're right on top of each other, obviously it makes it a lot more difficult to pick up numbers, which ultimately they will have because we're only pinning 3. So the center, the PP, guard, tackle, and wing to the right-hand side after they protect will be clean in terms of their ability to work themselves downfield. So we got to do a great job keeping that stagger. Ultimately, once the returner is able to field the football, we will work back towards the line of scrimmage to ensure that we don't block anyone in the back. We also talk about not stacking not stacking light-colored jerseys. So if for whatever reason I get knocked off course, so we talk about 5, in this case setting 5 by 5 off of number 9 who's getting the first opposite color down. Well, if 5 gets caught up in trash and protection and number 6 is clean, doesn't get the ball at the foot, but ultimately can beat 5 downfield, then we simply leapfrog that number. So whoever, basically between 5, 6, 7, and 8, whoever the first one down is really going to be the first one to set 5 by 5 off of number 9. Now, the way we clean it up for the number 5, so that we have a little bit of consistency in terms of how we get to the wall. We tell number 5, and we don't mention this as 6, 7, 8, but 5 is a little bit different. We say 5. If you get knocked off course, so unless you get a clean release in that A gap, okay. I'll show you the big picture. 5. If I don't get a clean release, so I get knocked off either by a guard crashing down, or a snapper working to me, or a clean release through the A and the PP steps up and gets hands on me, I'm going to go right now and work myself to the wall, so that we can maintain some integrity in terms of setting this wall. That's how we talk to number 5. Okay, so that he has a little bit different set of rules from that standpoint, so that he can get downfield and do the best job we can in terms of setting the wall. So that's blue, that's red. Those are our base. We could, it's one of those things where you practice enough. Every week you have blue and red. If nothing else, you can run blue, you can have red, and the kids know it, you know the weaknesses, you understand your options and fake responsibilities, and you feel safe against basically anything they do because you practice enough. So this is kind of who and what we are. Okay, we're a rush hard team, either the right side or the left side, actually the pin side away. And then we're also going to do the best job we can in terms of setting a wall, return, and take the ball up the sideline. Okay. Now